early games. First game, Vikings on the road at the Lions. It opened at 3.5. It's now up to 5.5. Speaking of bets, all of the bets coming in on the Vikings. I don't know, man. Like this still feels way up in the air to me. Like if we do normally talk about like fading the public and all that kind of stuff and going against road favorites, this one, two bad teams facing off and a lot of question marks for the Lions.
Yeah, week 17, throw all that out. Like, who cares who the public's on? Like, it's just all madness. Like, there's certain teams who are just going to be resting guys, and there's going to be certain teams who have already punched their vacation tickets. Like, this is literally a paycheck game. They do not care. So, I'm right there with you. A normal week, I would not take Vikings. I would happily take the Lions, especially in a divisional game. But Matthew Stafford's not right. Vikings offense is fully healthy. Like, they've been beat by good teams, the Vikings, and they've played tough, but awful defense. It's terrifying that they could be backdoored at any time. But if this is the backup quarterback for the Lions, we take the Vikings in our pick pool, because it's like that guy is just collecting a paycheck. He's not a starting quarterback. He was horrible when he came in for Stafford. He was non-existent against a Bucs defense that they're not that great. So for me, I would take the Vikings here. But if people have hesitation about putting the competition, I completely understand.
It's Vikings minus 6.5, not 5.5. I read that wrong. All right. I don't know that it's going to be like, for me, a top 5 pick, but I wrote it on the list.
Okay.
List. It could be one of our 5. Again, we're going to make 5 picks. The contest is over. We're still going to make 5 picks. Steelers. This is a tricky one, right? Steelers. It opened at 4. Steelers +4. It's now +7 on the road at the Browns. What's interesting is still early, not a ton of volume, 75% of the bets coming in on the Steelers, but 72% of the money coming in on the Browns. You said Browns money line before, but there's not going to be a ton of value in the Browns money line here. Then again, like, you make money, right? And so what's your thinking here? You mentioned this game specifically before.
Yeah, like the Browns money line's a parlay money line. Like, you throw that in with another one of these favorites that are just like playing against a team of all backups. But 7 points is a lot of points, and we'll have to wait and see who's going to play for the Steelers. Because if they're playing all their starters on defense, I actually don't hate that number, because this is a divisional game. I think the Steelers would love to spoil the Browns' chances of getting in the playoffs, but they're resting J.J. Watt, they're resting Big Ben, and all these other players on the Steelers, and the Browns get all their wide receivers back. Of course, I would take the Browns here. They're going to be playing for way more than the Steelers. So this is one of those you're going to have to wait until the end of the week and watch and see what players are playing for the Steelers before you bet this game.
All right, I'm just making a note. Wait until end of week. I'm putting it in my special red book, and then when we text on Sunday morning, I have it in front of me. That was also part of the problem, as we discussed. Like Sunday mornings, you would text me, and it's like the middle of a crazy hectic morning where I'm trying to keep track of what our traffic is like. I'm trading notes with other folks on the edit team. I'm prepping for our Sunday show, Convince Me, 11 a.m. at Action Network HQ. We will have another one this weekend. And like, then you'll text me with our picks. And sometimes I didn't have my notebook and I wouldn't be able to see what we liked on Tuesdays. And I would get flustered. So I carry the notebook with me at all times now.
Wow, what a nerd! What a nerd comment that was. I need my notebook. Where's my notebook?
Yeah. By the way, we don't have the notebook, and we're not going to 5-0.
That's true.
All right. Cowboys at Giants. This is your game, buddy. This is your game. It's the Giants +2.5, maybe +3, depending on the book. This is an NFC East title game. The Cowboys need this game.
And this is the time to let you down. I've been waiting for this moment to fade the Cowboys. This is so Cowboys. They get their fans back. Everyone's back on. Everyone's going to be betting the Cowboys. The Giants are awful. They played awful. Giants are going to win this game. This is definitely our big balls bet of the week, because no one wants to bet this.
Big balls bet of the week. You want to bet the Giants? Do you want to bet them on the money line, or do you want to bet them at +3?
I'm going to wait for the +3, +3.5, because the public's going to come in so heavy on the Cowboys. They're in. They're so in. And we talked last week. That's why I love the Cowboys. No one was betting them. They were a home team that everyone hated. and people were betting big money on a rookie quarterback making his second road start. So this is just the same exact thing, but you flip it, where the Giants have just been terrible. Daniel Jones is bad. He has not played well since coming back from this injury. But this is just a great matchup where all the pressure in the world's on the Cowboys and Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, on the road. I feel like he's just gonna blow this game. So I like the Giants. I like their defense here. I like that +3.
Well, you're not wrong. Like the bets and the money, it's all coming in on the Cowboys right now. This is, and it's a similar situation to the Steelers and the Browns. Like this has like divisional rival, screw up your season written all over it. And to be honest, the Cowboys don't deserve to be in the playoffs. They have made horrible decisions, coaching decisions all season long. I don't know how Mike McCarthy like ends up with that job and then ends up keeping that job. There's so many good candidates. Like over the years, the Cowboys are going to see some of these candidates get job and be like, really? We could have had that guy instead. So I'm with you. And I think Joe Judge is a really good coach. Like I think he's had this team sort of playing better in certain spots. I agree with you about Daniel Jones, not that great, but I'm willing to do it, even though it goes against all of our principles of betting on the Giants and Daniel Jones. So I'm willing to take a flyer there.
Yeah, put it in.
All right, it's in. I wrote it down. Dolphins. I'm getting weird lines on the Dolphins. Like some places, the Dolphins visiting the Bills, it's generally +4.5. Dolphins 4.5 point dogs. Uh, Interesting one. What are the Bills playing for? And the Dolphins have a lot to play for.
I think the Bills are still fighting for this top seed. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look.
Number 2 seed. They're fighting for the 2 seed.
Right. So I think they are going to play their players. And what we've seen from the Dolphins is why we've been trying to bet against them a lot lately, is that we just don't trust Tua and we don't believe in Tua. I think he's a good kid. I think he'll have a great future, but just this season, they rushed him a little bit coming back from the hip surgery, and he's scared to take hits. He doesn't make smart reads. He doesn't run out of the pocket when he should. And if this was Fitz, I'd love the Dolphins here. Like Fitz playing against the Bills, like he's always played well against the Bills. On any team he's left and he plays against, he usually plays well against them. But I can't do it. I'm like looking at the number right now. I just can't back to it. I really don't trust the kid. So the rare time I'm going to ride a team that's crazy overvalued and on a crazy winning streak, but I'll take the Bills here.
So right now, the money is coming in. It's interesting. The bets are coming in on the Dolphins and the money is coming in on the Bills. So what we're seeing is a Joe's pros split. So your instinct is right here as a professional. The money, which is where we usually see sort of professional tendencies, is coming in on the Bills. So you and your brethren are all coming in on the Bills. All right, so I'm putting the Bills in at 4.5. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens on Sunday morning. Here's something else that's interesting we got to think about. Normally for the contest, those lines are locking on Thursdays. Now we're going to be able to play any line we want whenever we think it's sort of the best of the number. So we might lock in something today on the feeling that it might sort of get worse over the course of the weekend. Or like you mentioned for the Giants, we're going to hold off because we think it might get better.
Yeah, and honestly though, because it's last week, I'll just post the worst, whatever the number is on Sunday, and we play. I'll just post the worst of the number. Just give back to the people. But I talked all year about how when we post these lines, like you said, they lock in early. If you're that scared, just tease the games we play. Because usually when we do get games wrong, it's by a half point or a point. It's rare that we're off by a ton of points. So just the same this week, I'll post the worst of the lines. Whatever the lines are on Sunday, we'll just play that. But if you're unsure about whatever games we're picking, just put them in teasers, man. If you're scared of these numbers and you want the comfort, play the teaser. But I just don't, because I love the value of playing our numbers straight. That's why usually when I post these numbers, I just say, listen, I know we don't have great numbers here, but I still like the numbers they're at. So hopefully this week that holds true. And we post the worst of the number and it won't matter like it has in most weeks.
All right. Jets +4.5 on the road at the Patriots. Boy, this is a dreadful Patriots team.
Yeah, I was honestly shocked last night how bad they were with it. I know Gilmore is out, and that literally shuts down half the field for them, and that really showed last night where Diggs did whatever he wanted against that New England secondary. Scary to back the Jets to win 3 in a row here, but I'm the biggest Jets fan, man. They've won me so much money the last couple of weeks here, and I still think they're being undervalued. Even though I know the public's going to finally come in on them because they've been playing better than the Patriots, but this number should be 3. I think we're getting good value here with the Jets, and I I know that the Patriots are going through right now, and none of us feel bad for you Patriots fans. Like, you literally just had the greatest 20-year run in NFL history, but it is heartbreaking just seeing how horrible they are. Like, Stenham, he's terrible, and Cam's terrible. So I don't care which one of them starting. I like the number here with the Jets.
Are you kidding me that we would ride the Jets for the 3rd week in a row?
You love the Jets, Chad. They got you $4,000.
Well, in theory, they got me a lot less than that, and 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 now the guy who actually helped me win that is convincing me that we should just keep rolling it over. So I don't know that the Jets have gotten me anything other than false hope and maybe losing out on a 4-figure payday.
Oh, come on, buddy.
But
Come
I have
on,
faith.
buddy.
I got faith.
Yeah. I'm with you though. It is scary because it would be 3 straight weeks of taking the Jets, but I just think they're still undervalued in the market. I like the number.
As Billy Joel says, I'm keeping the faith. Falcons. God, I hate this team. Falcons plus what is that? 6.5 on the road at the Bucs. What do we think here? Like, that number moved a little bit. It opened at 7.5. It's come down. I don't have I have no opinion on this game. I have no theory on this game, and I know that it's a team in the Falcons that has let me down every single week, except for last week where they were one of the teams that we thought we should have bet on, and it didn't matter. But don't like them. Don't like this game. Don't like anything about it.
Yeah, it's a true coin flip game. I don't know how Atlantic players keep showing up after these brutal losses. Like, just back-to-back weeks of just disgusting losses of games they should have won. But the Buccaneers coming off a huge road win, coming home, getting ready for the playoffs. I'm thinking maybe they're going to overlook Atlanta here, and I don't think Matt Ryan's going to take a game off. So as long as this number stays above 5, 5.5, I'd be cool with taking Atlanta, but I'm with you. I wouldn't put in the competition.
We're not. Why do you keep saying put it in the competition? There is no competition. Now we're just choosing the 5 best bets.
Well, I'm actually in a couple other ones. I don't want to break your heart and tell you I'm cheating on you, but I still have a chance to place top 5 in Circa, which is a competition out in Vegas. And in the gold, in the super contest, my group has a chance to finish first, but we need like the luck of all luck. We need to pretty much go 5-0 and the top guy to go 1-4. But so pretty much I'm talking for myself and what I'll be playing in these different pick pools. But yeah,
Hold on a second. This is, I got to tell you, like, this is the first I've heard of this. And I kind of can't believe you're in other competitions without me.
Without you? I mean, I work for a group. Of course I'm in other competitions. Like, we're nut jobs, man. Like, these guys, they want to have action on everything. They want to be in everything. That's why, like, we do all these different survivor contests and pick pools. But with you, I have a little bit more control, surprisingly. Like, you, for the most part, even though I know you took over the reins of Survivor contest and we saw how that worked out for us, but for the most part, you've let me pretty much run the show, where these other guys, they're pros like me, so they're a little more like, oh, I got to read on this one, like you're overthinking it, blah blah blah. So it's worked and it hasn't worked, but in the circuit has worked. Like, we did really well in that one. But yeah, I just didn't bring it up because it's like, who cares? Like, we had our own competition. That's all I was focused on when I was with you. So I'm one of those people.
Here's everything I just heard in whatever you just said. All I heard was, A, you're cheating on me. B, you just completely diminished everything I brought to the table for the entire season.
Not at all. You were my anchor. You held me down. No, I'm kidding. No, man, you were good. Like, your bye weeks were the clutchest thing of the season. You had us skip like 2 bye weeks combined. We were 3-7. So that's where you saved us, Chad.
I thought I had some really good picks over the course of the year. Really good picks. Many times on Sunday mornings, I walked us away from making bad picks and provided ballast.
Oh
I
my
put us
God.
back on the path to winning. I reminded us that we could not get emotional, that we could not be cowards on Sunday morning. Because otherwise, you're out there like being, crazy bearded, Simon, and thinking all these crazy thoughts. I'm the one who's saying, dude, get back to the basics.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But at the same time, I don't know. We don't have to get into it. But yeah, it's like it is a give and take. So it was one of those most Sunday mornings. If you were super passionate, I would just give it to you. I'd be like, all right, Chad thinks he's got to read. I'm gonna let it ride here. So it was definitely fun Sunday morning to argue with you about the picks.
And then, but the intimation here is that I give it to you, and then we lose.
Right. But not all the time.
Not all the time. All right. Ravens at Bengals. Ravens 11 and a half. Bengals. I mean, look, that's a big number on the road, but obviously they need a win and in situation here.
Yeah, this is one of those I'll be throwing the Ravens money line in some plays, but it's terrifying. I just can keep getting this memory years ago of the Ravens needed to win a game against a terrible Bengals team, and Andy Dalton on like 4th and 20 put the ball in the end zone. The Bengals beat the Ravens outright, and it was like one of the most shocking upsets I can remember. But
Yep.
that was Andy Dalton versus Joe Flacco. Ain't no Joe Flacco on the field today, so I'll take the Ravens big number. I played them last week against the Giants, even though I felt gross, and it worked out. And we talk about all the time, the Ravens just beat up these bad teams. So I don't hate taking the Ravens here, but it's such a big number. I'm with you. I probably wouldn't put this in my competition.